found that we became the highest selling zinc house in Malaysia. 990,000 for zinc house in those days, compared to, let's say, 50,000, 80,000 in C Park or C Housing or PJ. So I said, oh, there's an opportunity here. So I started to look around the Ampang area, and I found that selling a property owns 81 acres above Tennessee, UK. So I went to meet selling a property and made friends with him. I said, is it for sale? He says, yes. So I introduced it to another friend. So that became my from $35 million to $80 million project. Those of you who live around that area, we had a book in Tarabangsa. Tarabangsa was created by me. I introduced it to the developer. So by the mid-90s, I was so busy creating this project, I stopped doing that. So these are some examples of proactive marketing. Right? But you wouldn't know that unless you take you learn business. So go and learn business. In the year 2002, I decided there was a recession. I went to Harvard Business School and did a 1-week course. Nobody told me how to do that. I thought I could learn something. The course was called How to Lead a Professional Service Company. The course, like the students, about 30, because in Harvard Business School, the lecture room is a special U-shape. You can sit only about 30 students. And it's a 1-week course, Saturday to Saturday. I did that in 2002, and I said to myself, should have done that 20 years earlier. We learn a lot of things. So learning business is very important. So I recommend to all of you, when you leave the university, go and learn business. And it's going to be tough out there. In Singapore, only 6 to 10% of graduates from School of Architecture in Singapore do architecture. The rest do something else. They work for developers, they work for contractors. So it's tough. So I started to think to myself, and this is very important, why do you want to be an architect? So I ask all of you, why do you want to be an architect? Why is it so stressful to be an architect? There are 4 reasons. The first one is that it is a cash flow driven business. That means you have to do the business first, deliver it, then you get paid. But nowadays, clients are so difficult that it's very difficult to collect fees. So now if you run a restaurant, you serve the food, people eat your food, they pay before you leave your restaurant. But not with an architect. So you just think it's a cash flow driven business. Now when you go to the kopitiam, you guys sell kway-teow. Kway-teow seller takes home 7,000 a month. That's pretty good money. Of course, it's not an easy life. He has to wake up at 6:30, go to the market. He has to go to the market to buy the food. He has to bake it. And he has to spend the afternoon selling. He works 8 hours a day. And you go around, you can't go around saying I'm an architect. I'm a kway-teow seller, there's no status. But it takes him 7,000. Is it not? You have the car business. You have to sell the car. Then you have to manage the business. Somebody else does the management. You have a car company. And then somebody makes the car. So you as an architect, you have to do all. You have to make the product, you have to sell the product, you have to deliver the product. Right? So you do multiple business functions at the same time. And finally, it is a people business. Your relationship with clients is important. One wrong word, and relationship is gone. Clients are very particular, for instance, sensitive about money. You ask them for money, this is why you always worry money, then they get angry with you. So cash flow driven, delivery intensive, other business function is a people business. So it's very stressful in architect. So you go back and ask yourself, do I really want to be an architect? Lectures get really annoyed with me. Yeah, I'm teaching architecture, you tell other people not to be an architect. I said, yes. Be an architect if you have a passion for it. That means regardless you want to be an architect, you have a passion for it. But if you don't have the passion for architecture, it's much easier to sell Kway Teow. So that is my advice to all the new students. Right. You want to be an architect, have a true passion for it. Live, if you go to a good school of architecture, if you go to, I went to the AA school in London, and the students treat architecture like a religion. Eat, drink, sleep, architecture, like a religion. It's more than a passion, it is a religion for them. Now, if you have that relationship with being an architect, then you can tolerate all the rubbish that comes with it. The casual driven, the delivery intensive, and so forth. And so, make sure you have a passion. Your school produces about 30 to 50 graduates a year. How many of you end up in architecture? How many of you have a real passion? I was told that a very famous Malay architect, who came here last week, came recently. Is that true? Yeah. He just has 2 weeks, very famous architect. He's a heroic figure, I used to work for him in 1976. They said there are 3 types of architects who should become architects because there's nothing else to do. Most people become architects for their money. And the architect who truly believes and has passion architecture, you have to be the 3rd type. You won't pay for the money, but nothing else to do, it's better to do something else. Now, he just is as a clever architect. He does many iconic buildings. But if I were to criticize him, if he has 100 projects, he has 100 ideas. Now it's very important to be holistic. That means holistic, the property holism, it means the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. Think about it. You have many parts, but it comes together as a whole. Now if you have 100 projects, 100 ideas, and it's not holistic, then it is not significant. So if you have 100 projects, and they're all interrelated, they all build upon each other, all strengthen the thinking behind each other, then the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. That is organic property. So that's the difference between organisms and machines. Machines, if something goes wrong, you can take it out and replace it. Your wheel, your car doesn't work, you can replace your tires, you can replace the tires, the engine, the part doesn't work. So with machines, the whole is not greater than the sum of its parts. But the biological systems and organisms like you and me, you can't cut off your hand and replace it with another hand. You get a prosthetic hand, but it will not be the same as the one before. And so the whole is greater than the biological property of holism. is very important. And then plus your work. All your work, all the projects must be greater than the sum of its parts. Otherwise, you have 100 ideas. People cannot understand you. People don't understand what you're all about. And so those are the important property. So I'm going to end in a minute. Kurokawa. Kisho Kurokawa is the architect for the KLIA.